All right, welcome back. So now we're going to do another example of doing long division, and then we're going to write this in two different ways, like we showed in the last video. So the other thing too is notice how the dividend here is written in increasing order of the exponents on the terms, the x terms. We want to write that in decreasing order, so always want to write that. Also, look for placeholders. Here we've got no missing terms, right, as far as the exponents go, right? But over here we've got an x term missing, so we want to make sure we write the placeholder for that so we don't make any mistakes, okay? Otherwise it becomes difficult and you have to make sure you keep an eye on things. If you put the placeholders in, it makes things a lot easier. Okay, so let's set this up, right? So this is our divisor, this is our dividend, this is our divisor. So obviously we're going to write x squared plus 0x plus 2, right? So we got our placeholder, divided by, now I'm going to write this in the correct order, so it's going to be 3x to the 4th plus 2x cubed plus 4x squared plus x minus 5. Okay, so now let's go through and start dividing, right? So we start with our x squared, right? It always starts with this, the highest power here. So x squared times what equals this? So we're going to have 3x squared, right? So x squared times 3x squared is going to give us 3x to the 4th. That's what we need. So now we just start multiplying and getting the other two terms. So in this case here, we're going to get 0 times this is 0. So we're just going to get plus 0x cubed, right? So x times x squared. And then we're going to get 2 times 3, which is 6. We're going to get plus 6x squared, right? And so now we're going to subtract this whole thing. So now, if I subtract, then this is going to become negative. This doesn't matter, right? It's going to just become subtraction, and this is going to become negative, right? So now I'm just going to subtract down. This is going to go away. This is going to become 2x cubed minus what? It's going to be minus 2x squared okay? And now we drop down. Okay? Now we're going to do it again. So now x squared times 2x equals 2x cubed. And so now I'm going to cycle through. So I'm going to 0x times this is going to give me plus 0x squared. And then 2 times 2 is 4, so that's going to give me 4x. So again, I'm going to subtract. And so then this is going to become negative. This doesn't matter because it's 0. And this is going to become negative. So now I'm going to add down. So this is going to go away. This is going to become minus 2x squared, negative 2x squared. And this is going to become what? Minus 3x. And now I'm going to drop down the constant term. And I'm going to do my final cycle, right? So now I'm going to do what? X squared times what equals negative 2x squared. That's going to be a minus 2. Subtract 2. So now I know that that's going to give me my minus 2x squared. Now I'm going to multiply by 0, which is just going to give me 0x. And then I'm going to do 2 times negative 2, which is a minus 4. Okay, Now I'm going to subtract again. And again, if I subtract, this becomes positive, which means this is going to drop out. Doesn't matter because it's 0, and this is going to become positive. Okay? And so when I add, I'm going to get what? I'm going to get minus 3x minus 1. And now I can't do anything more. I've got to stop because I've reached the end, right? So now I've got to stop, and what's ever left over is my remainder. So this is my remainder, right? This up top here is my quotient, okay? And so now, by the division algorithm, I know that my dividend, right? So that means that 3x squared, oh, not squared, 3x to the 4th plus 2x cubed plus 4x squared plus x minus 5 can be written as what? The quantity 3x squared plus 2x minus 2 times my divisor, which is x squared plus 2, plus my remainder, which is negative 3x minus 1. Okay, so let me erase this. So hopefully you're taking notes, or you're going to go back and do this later, or just rewind. Okay, so that we've got that, right? So this is our, right? So we've got our dividend can be written as the product of our quotient and our divisor plus the remainder, right? Okay. Or, in other words, we could also, so this is one way, by the division algorithm, we know that this polynomial can be written as the product of these two polynomials plus this remainder polynomial. Or, another way of writing it, just like I did before, was we can write this division as what? This division problem is equal to what? Our quotient, right? Our quotient, which is 3x squared plus 2x minus 2, plus what? The remainder, which is going to be negative 3x minus 1, divided by our divisor, right? So which is x squared plus 2, right? So we can also write our answer, right? We can write our answer to the division problem as this plus this. Okay? Because just like anything, if we do, let's say, 7 divided by 2, right? We would say that 2 goes into 7 3 times, right? And what do? We do 3 up here. 2 times 3 is 6. And then what do? We subtract. And then what do we do? What's left over? That's going to be 1, right? Now at this point here, we're done. Why? Because 2 does not go into 1, so we're done. So what happens? Well, this is a remainder. So, which tells us what? That, what? 7 can be written as what? 2 times 3 plus 1, which is exactly here, the division algorithm says. Or, we can write this as what? Oops. We can write the problem 7 divided by 2 is equal to what? 3 plus what? And 1/2. which is this right here, right? So we can write the division problem as, well, we're going to get 3, but then we're going to get the remainder divided by the divisor, okay? So again, same thing we've been doing with numbers, now we're doing the same thing with polynomials.